we gonna see. Yo, what is the deal? Welcome to the No Pick Show, where there's no handhold. We do it fast on emotion. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. If you will, I'm here with my dog, Jose Davis. How you doing, brother?
Whoa, cooling, man. All the way in the great state of VA. You hear me? Up here.
Shout out to the VA. Shout out to DMV.
Yeah,
We about to get some weather in this area also, so
okay.
hopefully it ain't too bad. So I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter, and I don't really engage in too much because I'm all good vibes right now. I'm all
Mm-hmm.
optimistic vibes right now. Shout out to the homie Michael Morgan. Appreciate it with that 5 piece, bro. Shout out to the dog Savage in the building, man. What's happening with your homie? So we gonna get straight to the point here. We're gonna get straight to the point here, right?
Mm.
I see a lot of finger pointing at the current administration, at the current front office, right?
Whoa.
Shout out to Louisiana Gale in the building. Shout out to the homie. Now, keep in mind, this is the first. What up, King Sam? This front office's first official off season.
Mm-hmm.
Last season, they kind of came in immediately toward the end of the year. Kind of was flying at trying to fix the airplane while I was in the air. Of course, they caught a lot of flack for that Dairy Queen trade. Now, in hindsight, people seem to be a little bit more optimistic on the future of the Dairy Queen trade, and saying, well, Kingston Fleming and
Mm-hmm. Be a
Asa,
little bit more at ease.
yeah, a little more at ease. I think people at this point would prefer Dairy Queen to those guys. Now, personally, I think that's also the wrong way to view it
Mm-hmm.
because, like, just being logical, you don't view it versus who those players became. You don't view it towards like in the mindset of, well, Derek is better than Kingston Fleming. That's not how you're supposed to view that. You view it as what you could have done with pick 8. You could have
Mm-hmm.
traded it. You could have done this. You could have done that. You could have traded it back for multiple picks, etc. You could have done a lot of things. But either fucking way, people seem to be moving on. Now, I want to go through this list. And this is a very important list. Shout out to everybody in the building. I'm gonna go through this list, y'all. And y'all gotta listen closely to this. Y'all gotta listen closely to this.
Before you, as you queuing this up, let me ask
Mhm.
you, because I kind of was part of the reason that we in this
Mhm.
today, and a lot of the pushback that I was given on social media today. My
Mhm.
main thing is when you credit other people, other regimes moves, and you look at what, like you said earlier, how Joe Dumars and Troy, when they got hired, trying to do the best they can with the information they had, and just making a decision not to just say F everybody, right? Because you
Right.
could have did that. You could have said F everybody, just let it all go to whatever. They tried to salvage as much as they could, in my opinion, in the first year, and give the essentially I looked at it trying to buy a year to allow them to then decide on their own what it was they was trying to do. But when you
Oh,
compare other
mhm.
people's all like front office situation and their assets to the Joe Dumars and what they fucking had to come into assets, I just don't believe that they were given an ideal situation um to
Like,
step into.
and look, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm speaking for myself. You gotta remove Elvin from this. Remove Elvin from this equation. Though David Griffin controlled a lot of people in local media, and I'm talking about the people. If you think I'm talking about them, I'm talking about them, right? They like the company I used to work for was probably the one company that wasn't controlled by social media. I mean, I'm sorry, by David Griffin. I'm talking about from the newspaper people to the bloggers. This generally speaking, David Griffin controlled a lot of those people. Trajan as well. Bryson has some relationships with those people as well. Now, the reason why you see some of these trades happening, and you like, damn, this person went for a round pick. This person went for a second round pick. Why didn't the Pelicans move up? Let me tell you why the Pelicans don't got no second round picks today.
Mm.
Let me tell you why the Pelicans don't got no second round picks today. I'm gonna go through this list, and y'all please be sure to listen. The Pelicans spent 5 first-round picks and 6 second-round picks. They traded for Derek Favors with a first-round pick. They drafted Jackson Hayes at eight with a first-round pick. Drafted Kyra Lewis with a first-round pick. traded a protected first for Devontae Graham with a first round pick. Drafted Jordan Hawkins in the lottery with a first round pick. Now that's 3 lottery picks. Jax, Kyra, and Hawkins. That's 3 lottery picks that you didn't spend. Now, also, they sent the first for Steven Adams, but then they moved Steven Adams for Jonas, and I think that ultimately became Trey Murphy as well. So let's just call that a wash, right? And then Didi Lozada, that's 6 second-round picks. EJ Liddell would be 7, but you traded EJ Liddell for DeJounte. You sent a protected first for DeJounte as well. So I can really get up to about 6 or 7 first-round picks if I wanted to. But if I'm just keeping it here, that's 5 first-round picks. 5, 3 of those being lottery picks. None of these motherfuckers on your team no more. 2 of them not by out of the 5 players, only 1 and 2, if you count Jax, is still in the NBA right now. And the other one is Jordan Hawkins. So that's probably about to be about 4 motherfuckers that's not in the NBA soon out of 5 picks, 3 of which were lottery picks. Also, and Didi Lozada's not in the league. EJ Liddell, I don't think EJ's in the league right now, if I'm not mistaken. That's 2 lottery picks, 2 second-round picks that's also not in the league. All right, so that's a total, 5 first-round picks, 6 second-round picks. That's 11 picks total that you just set on fire. You set them motherfucking picks on fire. You didn't get nothing, work nothing from any of those motherfucking picks. And most of these guys didn't even get to a second contract, a rookie scale extension. I'm sorry, like a rookie extension with any of these lottery picks. Kyra, you paid a second round pick to move off of Kyra. You paid 4 second round picks to move off of Devontae Graham. That's 5 second round picks right there. If you want to talk about misuse of assets, David Griffin, Trajan Langdon set this team's assets on fire. On fucking fire. Go ahead, L. My bad.
No, you good. I just want to kind of jump in. Not to mention, when we talk about replenishing the picks, right? If you took Jackson Hayes for a first, you don't think you could have at least tried to get rid of Jackson Hayes for a second or 2 seconds? Nope. Jackson walked for nothing.
Jonas.
Najee Marshall. Invested in Najee Marshall, brought Najee Marshall in.
Bro.
Najee Marshall walked for nothing.
Hold on. Let me say this. I talked to Najee Marshall people. Najee Marshall people was like, man, I thought we was about to go to Toronto because Toronto had put in offers for Najee Marshall at the time. Javonte Green. There was offers for Javonte Green. There were I'm sure there was at least second round offers for Jonas Valanciunas that you let walk.
Yes.
Come on, man.
So my part is, not only did you blow the assets, right? When you had a chance and you knew, like, because most of the players that left, you knew you wasn't extended. You knew you wasn't doing nothing with them regardless. You knew they wasn't getting extended when you had the opportunity. You did not take that chance to replenish the picks. If we just talking about asset management, they did not do their job to replenish those picks as well for the players that they had. So, like, that's just my issue.
No, like, to me also, and shout out to Louisiana girl. She said, excuse me, I'm sorry. While I agree with your premise, I can't lie. I was a little turned off by the way Joe was operating in these draft trade talks. He has to be better. Louisiana gal say, please don't confuse what I'm about to say with the section of the fan base that whines and cries about every Troy do or don't. This ain't that. Oh, of course not. Not at all. She said, I get it, Joe. You had to hear all year about Dairy Queen trade and you don't want to lose a trade anymore because of how people perceived you. But you can't pick up the phone, offer a trade up for Brazil or Thomas, and then be unwilling to negotiate with the team. Teams aren't going to accept your first offer just to let you get a win. Now, that's another part of it, right? That's a very fair assessment, in my opinion. Very fair assessment. Like, because cash considerations only go so high to Louisiana girls her point. And I will say there's something to be said about overplaying your hand in certain instances, right?
Yes.
Certainly something to be said by that. I think there's going to have to be a happy medium from the standpoint of, okay, people view the Dairy Queen trade a certain way. Now you have to try to take back some of your leverage and take back some of your quote unquote credibility from how the national media, including local media, kind of narrates how that trade went down. You know what I'm saying? So it's one thing that you really got to thread the needle with that. I don't know if you getting 2 firsts for her, because I wouldn't do it. At least not 2 good firsts. But I think my position has always been even with a trade or her. If you want to go, I'm sorry, pardon me, y'all. If you were going to move those guys, you would have to be going out to buy. You would have to be going out to seek a better player versus taking a small step back for a large step forward. You got to my bad, bro.
No, you good. We have this discussion all the time. And shout out to Louisiana Gal for her detailed explanation of how a lot of these negotiations have been happening behind the scenes. Because my overall assessment of it, when we talk about them potentially being out on players like Ja Morant, potentially being out on players like Sabonis, if you're not willing to move your players for distressed assets, right? If you're not willing to move players for distressed assets and get yourself somewhat in a better situation, then you're going to find yourself on the downside. Because again, if I was another team, I'm not giving 2 firsts. You might not get 1 first for Herb Jones.
You don't want to know what my offer would be.
But you get my point. Like, so, and we have the conversation again. If you're so, and it's not for players like Trey Murphy, right? Trey Murphy is a different conversation. Trey Murphy is a seeked out commodity. You don't just give the you know, if I got a nice Benz outside and somebody asked me to buy it, I ain't just, yeah, you can have that bit for, you know, for less than what it's worth. No, like you got to come up and pay for that one.
Right.
But at the same time, with certain players, if we're trying to get better and negotiate and do certain things, like, yeah, it's got to be some give and take. But with players like Herb Jones, you got to understand the value. You got to understand that, in my opinion, having Herb Jones is doing more damage to you in the long run than just biting the bullet and getting off of that one.
I think what you're saying is an excellent point. I'm actually a person who was kind of adamant, like even before the extension came in, it was like, yo, you gotta move her, just because I see that type of player transitioning, not out of the league, but being lower cost players. I think on Herb's current contract, you have to be a winning team for that contract to maintain its value. Shout out to my sis P. Fowler. Guys, I got my Zero Fizz my t-shirt on, designed by me. Y'all make sure y'all check that joint out. But yeah, bro, like another point that people seem not, and you know what? Let me stop saying this. People understand.
Yes.
Because I always make the mistake of saying, well, people seem not to be understanding how long it would take to rebuild or the process of a rebuild. It's like, no, some people understand. It's their preference, or they kind of just tired of the players here. Like either case, I get it. But
you just want something new to want something new.
Yeah, sometimes you just, because on one hand, you can't say, all right, don't do a bad trade. But on the other end, you're gonna say, man, 3 firsts for trade, that's too much. So if I trade them for 1 first, I'm gonna get talked about. If I trade them for 3 firsts, I'm asking for too much. It's 2 firsts the medium, like what? Like what do you want at a certain point? I think sometimes motherfuckers want you to do something just to do it. And I'll point this out, because me and you had this conversation prior to doing this show. Rebuilds take a very long time, right? They take a very long time unless you just happen to get an MVP caliber player. Like,
you gotta get incredibly fucking lucky.
Think about this. Think about this. OKC been rebuilding since the Paul George trade.
Yes. They've
been like a relevant team, like a real relevant team, maybe 3 seasons, right? Out of those 3 seasons, they made it to the finals once. Of course, they had some injury issues this past year, didn't make it. Made it to the Western Conference Finals, though. They have an MVP player on the roster that they didn't even fucking draft.
Yes.
That team, at different points of its iteration, had Paul George, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, Domantas Sabonis, Enes Kanter, who else? Jeff fucking Green, Chris Paul. You had all these name brand Carmelo Anthony, all these name brand superstar caliber players, and some of them were a little older, like Chris Paul, but they didn't get it done. They didn't go anywhere, right? Then, even when OKC was building, OKC was tanking under the old tanking rules, and it still took them like 5-6 years.
And they had the benefit. Not only were they tanking, they also had the benefit of some of the players that they made deals with. It didn't work out in those situations. Like example, Houston in Russ situation blew up, and then they ended up moving Russ and so you got the benefit of some Houston picks. You got the benefit of some other players. Like the Clippers, you got the benefit of the Clippers picks. You know what I mean? You had some very ideal situations kick in and help you out throughout this process.
Like, and truthfully speaking, that's what makes David Griffin's, just to speak on him for another moment, that's what made him and Trajan's tenure so bad. Because you had the 8th pick from the Lakers. You had the number 4 pick from the Lakers. You just kept fucking off the picks. You just kept fucking them off. Like that's you're like 2 number 8 picks you had, and no knock on Dyson, but it was Dyson Daniels and Jackson Hayes, right? 13, you had 13, Kyra Lewis over Tyrese Maxey. You had 14, you ended up drafting Jordan Hawkins. You just kept fucking off the money. You kept setting the money on fire, my nigga. That's ultimately what ended up happening. Trading the first for Derek Favors again. We went through this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. But I also want to speak on just the timeline of rebuilds. Let's say last year was the first year of Fears and Quinn, right? They started, they got the lion's share of games played for a long period of time with starts and things of that nature, right?
Yes.
Especially Fears. Okay, let's say that's year 1 of the new era. Year 1, right? Now, people always say rookies don't help you win games. So let's say this is year 2, you don't have a pick. Let's say this the year you trade everybody. Year 2. Bam, that's 2 years. That's 2 years. Trade everybody. New coach, trade everybody. I bet. Year 3, you draft the motherfucker, right? Because you only get 1 pick. Traditionally, you only get about 1 pick a year. So let's say that's
not guaranteed the number 1 pick.
You're not guaranteed the number 1 pick, right?
You're talking more like
6. That's how you get 6.
That's okay.
So you get 6, right? Let's say 5, just to be in. Shout out to my dog 5. Let's say you 5. All right, that's 5. Now you in what? And rookies don't help you win. So now you're going into year 4. Right? Now, look, first year, second year you trade everybody. Third year you draft the motherfuckers. Rookies don't help you win. So now you're in year 4. Now you're going into year 5.
Going into Jeremiah and DQ's contract.
Now we're going into Jeremiah and DQ's rookie extensions. All right. Now the money is here. So if Fears and DQ in that second year rookie ain't ready to help you compete, now we going into year 5. You got to draft another motherfucker. All right, bam. We just drafted you. What's up, cuz? All right, rookies don't help you win. So now we going into year 6. New Orleans is now the free agent destination. So, and the chances of you being able to trade all of these players in one offseason is highly unlikely. Teams usually make about 1 or 2 moves. So
let me interject as well. Hypothetically, you traded players for picks, so you get multiple shots, right? Let's say you get multiple shots in the draft.
Right, because that's assuming any of these guys even good. These motherfuckers
that's assuming you land, because if you get another Jackson Hayes and you wait 2-3 years, we have the benefit of Zion was the guy. Brandon had already been, Brandon had been in the league for 3 years already before he came to New Orleans.
Lonzo embraced a new role.
Yeah, so and Lonzo was what, like a year 3 player?
Yeah, they were like older prospects. Yeah.
So you gotta think when they came to New Orleans, and you fucked that rebuild up too. But Zion was incredible. And Brandon were older players that you brought in. But let's just say hypothetically, in like year 5, you got multiple opportunities at the lottery, right? You not the lottery, but let's just say every year, even if you get 2 picks, if one of them are good, let's say one of them is like Jeremiah Fears level good as a rookie. that still don't do much for you, right? Like, because again, rookies don't help you win. We just saw that, right?
Well, according to some people, rookies don't help you win. That's the narrative. That's
a rookie might help you do something.
Yeah.
But a rookie surrounded by a bunch of like the Hornets this year, their rookie helped them because they're surrounded by a bunch of veteran players. VJ Edgecombe, Dylan,
what's the homie? Dylan Harper. Is it? I don't know. It's not Carter Bryant. Homie with the Raptors, dog.
Kyler Murray Boyles.
Kyler Murray Boyles, another guy who played very well in the postseason.
Rookies that are surrounded by veteran players or younger vet. Scotty Barnes been in the league for Brandon, been in the league. RJ been in the league. Right.
I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. I gotta add this as well. But people forget this. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wasn't a rookie, right? He was also came from the Clippers after having a promising start, and they brought in Chris Paul to mentor him, and that team was pretty good. And then they tanked like the second half of the season. This is when everywhere Chris Paul went, he was helping you win
in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's that era of Chris Paul,
bro. That was Chris Paul, Shea, and fucking Dennis Schroeder. They made, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that goes to show how elite Chris Paul was at that time. So, and then if I'm not mistaken, he went to, did he go to the Rockets after that?
Chris Paul?
Yeah.
No, he got traded from the Rockets to
OKC for
Russ. And then I believe he ended up going to Golden State.
Went to Washington and got sent to Golden State.
Golden State, and then he ended up going to the Spurs.
Yeah, it bounced around. But the evidence, so if you in year 5, again, you ain't making the playoffs because you about to beat while you building this. Wemby still around, Ant still around. What other teams they got out? Huh? Jokic is still around. Maybe he old as fuck by then. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe he old and not good, right? All of these other teams with young players, I'm still around, and whatever the Rockets decide to do. It's not like other teams are just gonna not continue to try and get better while you try to rebuild.
Dylan Harper's still around.
Dylan Harper's still around. Cooper Flag in Dallas still around. What other? So
Derek Peterson,
Utah and fucking Keontae.
Yeah.
Like, so Ace in Utah.
Around. Yeah.
So dog. So that also, not to mention around like year 5, even if you decided to say, let me take some of these picks and go get young stars, right? Let's just say Ace then flashed out in Utah, and now you got to use some of the picks to go get Ace. It's like, okay, now you back to depleting the war chest. You depleting the war chest. You still not guaranteed to win. Because hold on, one last thing. Before year 5, Mosley probably done got fired.
By that time, he's gone.
Probably fired. He ain't the guy for the
GM.
GM gone. So GM probably gone. Joe probably gone because you done lost 4 or 5 years in a row, or maybe you done made one play-in run in this time, right? Let's say you got lucky, you made one play-in run. So everybody fired, and the new guy come in, and you know what he gonna say? Fuck it, I might need to rebuild.
Yeah, like these ain't none of my guys. And then
none of my guys.
And then on top of that, bro, again, let's go through the last few teams that ended up winning finals. The Knicks were a bought, not built team, right? Celtics, for the most part, was drafted, but they tried to buy several times.
They again to the Celtics, not to cut you off, but they had the blessing of Tatum being great and Brown being great. So no matter what they did around that,
you had two foundational
pieces that were great that played.
These were rookies in like the Eastern Conference Finals, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And then you had Kyrie, you had IT, you had Al Horford, you had so many things that just went right.
One ring, though.
Even with, bro, you will be hard pressed to name a team. The Spurs aren't a rebuilding team. The Spurs had pretty much the same roster they have now and added Dylan Harper. They didn't add Dylan Harper because they were rebuilding. They added him because he happened to be the number 2 pick because Wemby kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like,
the Spurs people talking about this fucking, oh, look what the Spurs are gonna do. No, the Spurs were bad for 7 years. 7 seats, like, that's almost a decade.
The Knicks ain't won a series like the Knicks ain't made it to the finals in like 50 since the 90s. I think since the 90s.
The Knicks had a 20-year run, bro, and only made the playoffs twice. Like, okay.
No, I think people, honestly, bro, I think David Griffin got away with a lot of stuff because I'm gonna be real. I think a lot of people just liked how David Griffin looked. And I'm not going to get that deep into the conversation. And I'm not saying that the current front office are infallible and they can't make any mistakes or won't make any mistakes. But what I am saying is people are talking about they want to know the direction. Well, when the truth is, you don't really have a direction yourself. Like you're saying, rebuild. Okay, how should we do that? You want to trade everybody this year? You want to bring in a bunch of rookies? You can't develop a bunch of rookies at one time. Then when you bring in a new coach, he's not gonna want some of these rookies. He gonna want his own people, right? That's one. You want to do it year by year. Like I mentioned before, you only can rebuild around people when you feel like you have a foundational piece. Or two. This year, maybe Fierce takes another step. He looks awesome. But until that happens, Zion is head and shoulders your best player, right? And you're going to only rebuild around very, very good players. Shout out to Mr. Hennessy. He mentioned Ant. The reason why shit can change around Ant is because Ant is the foundational piece. Yeah, we can change. We can trade Cat. We can maybe trade Rudy. We could trade Nas. We could trade almost anybody. Long as Ant is here, we on Ant time. We on Anthony Edwards time. When Ant decide he want to leave, then we gonna rebuild. Then we gonna be in hell for a little while. I think people are not being emotionally intelligent because they said they wanted to compete. The offseason just started. People was bitching about like, oh man, we ain't doing nothing. It's like, my nigga, the draft just ended, and there was immediately a major trade that went down with LaMelo Ball. Right? Yeah. There's several teams that still need to make trades. Denver Nuggets being one of them. Suns still need a point. Like a lot of things still need to happen. And like I'm gonna pass it to you here. You got to take into account you inherited some players who really just don't got value like that. Like DeJounte don't have value. You probably couldn't get a second for him right now, to be honest. Couple other guys like Jordan Hawkins, you're not getting a second for Jordan Hawkins.
Yeah.
What you tell?
No, to Louisiana Gal's earlier point, you do have to, again, there's the balance between people trying to play the Pelicans and if these players were not Pelicans, these deals would probably look different. Now, I think what's also happening is we're going into a new era of deal making, right? Like before, players used to go for 4 and 5 picks and shit like that.
Now we're in the buyer's market.
That shit dead. Like you're not that shit not happening.
LaMelo was traded for 1 first in 3 seconds.
Yeah, bro. Like it's just not, you're not even really moving salary like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the way that deals are being made is not the most ideal. So what I'm hoping is, and it's not that Joe and them can't get criticism, because believe me, if they do some shit that's like a not ideal move or like, I don't even want to say not ideal. If they do some shit that's just kind of like
blatantly what the fuck,
like trade for 8 and Nate Mint.
Or like if they operate kind of how the Chicago Bulls operated last year. And like for us, like you gave up Kobe White for a second, you gave up Ayo for like a second, you end up getting Jaden Ivey back, you had to cut him. Anthony Simons didn't really work out. Then ultimately you just ended up tanking. You gave Patrick Williams that crazy ass extension you can't move. A lot of things. Like shout out to Louisiana Gal. She said DeJounte has no market. No surprise there. Herb has a minimum market. No surprise there. Poole and Hawkins are expiring, but teams aren't looking to move off of 2027 salary until February. No surprise there.
No, we said, bro, listen, we said this last season. During last season, it was like, man, if you don't make move by the deadline, you're not really in a bad situation, because by next trade deadline, you really gonna be in play to make some shit shake. So realistically, what they need to do right now is, if a move isn't just, like, they can afford, in my opinion, right now to try to win a deal, right? Like the summer, you can try to win a deal right now.
This is the best the deal's gonna get for you.
This is the best your deal's gonna get. So if you're gonna try and win a deal, you could try and win a deal right now. See, when that season start, regardless of if you good or bad or not, that's when you, at some point, like, the clock is on you to be able to do whatever it is you got to do to get some shit done, because, like, you have to use Poole and maximize Jordan Poole at this moment before the trade deadline. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not overly worried too much right now about what it is they're doing. I agree. Again, the overplaying your hand. Like, if you get an opportunity to get off her, if you feel like, hey, maybe during the season I might be able to do something a little bit better, because people get desperate during the season, right? Yeah. So you might be looking at it and say, fuck, I might not get what I want for Herb. Now, Herb ain't worth nothing more than a future first. But if a team like Denver, who's in a tough situation, needs some goddamn defense, or Cleveland or one of those teams be like, look, or somebody that's better than expected, say we are Herb Jones away from being able to compete. Was like, you could have Herb for a first and whatever or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. You might be in better position then. But if you not like right now, I just don't think they're at a point where they have to do damn near anything.
I think you don't have to be desperate at this point. Because truthfully, no team that you were arguably better than has surpassed you. Like, shout out to my homie, my dog, man. And if y'all in the building, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. We got 80 people in here. Let's try to get it up to 65 likes. Shout out to everybody in the building. My dog says it's crazy how we the only team that uses them excuses. Every other team is making moves, running their back against ridiculous. Now, here's the thing, my dog. The market is drastically different, firstly. Secondly, not every team has made moves. It's really the same three teams that's making moves, like the Pistons, the Timberwolves, and
Minnesota. Minnesota and Charlotte.
And Charlotte, it's like the West is still the same thing. And you got teams that absolutely need to make moves, like the Warriors, like Denver.
Yeah, the Lakers just brought back their own player.
Yeah, the Lakers haven't done anything yet. They're still looking for a big man. Anything. Portland hasn't done anything yet.
The Suns haven't done anything.
The Suns have, they only brought back their own guys as well. It's like no out of like 30 teams, only about 3 teams have really done anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? We haven't even reached July 6th yet with like the moratorium. We haven't reached free agency yet. And look, here's the thing also. OKC is stealth cutting motherfuckers. Like they're stealth giving people away because you have to open up opportunities to pay Case and Wallace. AJ Mitchell need more run. You need a couple different things to happen if you're OKC. They pretty much gave away Wiggins, gave away Isaiah Joe. If the Pelicans didn't spend 6 fucking second round picks on Devontae Graham, Kyra Lewis, and Didi Louzada, probably could have got one of them guys.
You probably could have gave away Hawkins to somebody to create some space to take one of these players if you had something to. Because again, David Griffin was known for just attaching picks to people and sending them out the door.
And that's the thing. It's like if you David Griffin, it's like, well, I'm sorry, if you Joe Dumars, you like, well, fuck, he gave away all the seconds. Do I really want to attach another second to Hawkins, or would I just rather use that as the expiring salary down the line? Because
like try and match a deal or something.
Yeah, or take back even more salary. Like that's the thing. And shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to Benny Nightward in the building. Yes, indeed. He said everybody crying about Stewart, Jordan Wiggins. Their salary cap wasn't the problem with making a deal. They don't have any seconds to make the trade. Giving up a first for players who didn't play in the playoffs. Exactly. Right now, you're not trading no first for none of them dudes. Some of them dudes went for multiple seconds. Stewart went for multiple seconds.
We was talking about respect, like the Trey Murphy to OKC deal was Trey for Isaiah Joe fucking Wiggins.
Like, it had to be like Dort or Wiggins.
No, I remember the deal. It was people like the deal that was posted. It was for Isaiah Joe, because Isaiah Joe made about 11, and I think Wiggins made close to 11. So it was like Joe and Wiggins in 12 and 17. And it's like, okay, you could have did that, but one, like you always say, you don't have the roster spots to do that. Like you don't even have the roster spots to make those type. You can't even make that move if you wanted to make that move because you can't fill the motherfucking roster. Like, yeah, you probably could have just cut everybody, but you really just don't know what position you gonna be in, and it ain't got nothing to do with like they didn't necessarily plan. It take time for plans to like flush themselves out as well.
Yeah. Also, it's like, truthfully speaking, it's like, bro, the Pelicans are not a desirable destination. And I think people I feel like people like, well, New Orleans is better than Oklahoma. It's like, Oklahoma don't be signing no big free agents neither.
No, nobody don't sign to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, like these niggas not like, that's why I'm like, with $7 million,
Hartenstein, and like Hartenstein, while he wasn't like no just fucking big name free agent.
Nah,
they gave him $87 million. Like, yeah, if you gonna throw somebody a fucking bag, they'll come.
Shout out to my dog. Oh no. We not saying that, my dog. We not saying that at all. We said more so like the explanation why you see things not moving fast and why some other teams like doing big moves and the Pelicans aren't. Because like, you know, free agency hasn't started yet.
Yeah.
A lot of like deals, like you still dealing with the aftershock. I hate to use that term. Thoughts and prayers to everyone with the hurricane, but you still dealing. I'm sorry, with the earthquake. You still dealing with the aftershock of Minnesota, of Giannis. Everything's still settling, and those deals are going to expand. Let me tell you, the Pelicans doing a lot of talking behind the scenes, but you also don't want to be a motherfucker that's giving up first, like Louisiana Girl say, and you don't have no seconds because you over the years you've had to, like, the seconds we sent out, bro, was like 28, 27, 29. Like we sent out upcoming seconds.
David Griffin sent those out and was like, fuck it, if it don't work, I ain't gonna be here anyway. Like,
yeah, he ain't
David Griffin, and I don't give a fuck nobody say David Griffin last year operation or last 2 years operated as if like, oh, I ain't gonna be here. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Bro, they had people, from what I was told, like Dennis Lauscher, Greg, a couple people. From what I was told, this could not be true. They had to go check David Griffin. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you were like, bro, no, you're not giving Brandon no motherfucking extension. What are you doing? Like, they had to go like check this nigga. This nigga wanted to give Brandon like $50 million.
50 mil, yeah.
Like, he's insane. Thank God Brandon was like,
and Brandon said no.
Brandon, like, I want more. Thank God, Brandon. Yeah. like, I want more. And then nigga was like, bro, you did what? No. Yeah. So shout out to Brandon for that. But I'm telling you, bro, like, people, I think, and some of this is reporting. I can't necessarily blame the fan base because look, y'all got jobs and shit. Like, people busy. Like, we busy as well, but we just happen to cover the team. But it's like, bro, some people pretending like they can't see the forest for the trees. When this new CBA started, the conversation was moving forward. Second round picks will be close to as valuable as late round first.
Yes.
And you gave away all of your seconds. Now, let's talk about this.
Let me add this point in while you making that point.
Go ahead,
not to mention the way the last couple drafts have been falling. Some like people have been saying, instead of me taking a late first, I'd rather have an early second. The second round talent has been
the contract not guaranteed. Also,
and the talent has been almost as good as some of the first round picks.
Yeah.
So
it's about the same. It's like, imagine if you get AJ for $4 million in the second versus getting Dyson for $8 million in the first. Like,
Yeah.
imagine you get AJ for like $2 million, or like
$2
even
million.
yeah, like why would you even? Because you got some second round picks that's going to give you more production than some vet men guys, and they're
Bro,
going to be millions less.
Dennis Jenkins, I think that's his name for Detroit. Motherfucker, dog was a two-way starting in the playoffs.
Mhm.
Bryce McGowan took Herb Jones' spot, bro.
And
Like,
look,
what are we? Herb a the second round pick. Crazy.
and look, shout out to my dog. He said the only reason first with the value in the first place was for one reason, to promote the G League and fill it up with talent. I think that's another reason why you seen some guy. Oh, he said seconds. I think that's another reason why you kind of see like the league was like, all right, look, with the Ignite and all that shit, we need to start kind of pivoting away from that. I think also, think about this, because I saw some talk about this, and this is my last time addressing this, because I feel like I didn't address it 3 fucking times. The Jose trade. Like, you were letting all that talent leave. Brother, Jose just extended for less money than he was on before, if I'm not mistaken, in New York. The Pelicans sent him home to look out for him. Like, the Pelicans could have traded Jose anywhere for like pick 56, pick 40. And motherfuckers like, well, you ain't gonna get no value for the Jose pick. You just drafted Jerome Pierre. I don't know what he's gonna turn out to be, but he looked like an appealing, end of the draft second. If that dude plays 1 minute for the New Orleans Pelicans, 1 fucking minute, it worked out for you. Like, people, I think the narrative is kind of getting out of hand because people just don't like this front office, because this front office hasn't really given access to people. Like, that's really what it boils down to.
People keep complaining about, we just want to know the plan. We just want to know the plan. Why?
Last time I told you the plan, you told everybody I was drafting fucking Derek Queen, and the nigga bust my head to trade for him.
Yeah.
Why would I tell you this though? Like, that's my thing. Like, when everybody got fired, people behind the scenes knew like days in advance, because that's how people talk. But that's also why everybody got fired, because y'all talk too much. Y'all talk too much. So it's like, come on, son. Like, all the shit people saying about, like, I'll give you an example, right? Do I want to say this? I'm gonna just say it because we on one. Like, people talk about like Joe hiring his son, or Troy hiring his son, or what have you. Right? Mind you, these things happen. And like across the NBA, I could go from Danny Ainge's son. Like, there's several examples I can point to. League wide, the Barrys, the Dunleavys, like, this happens. This is a real thing, right? Bro, this is my first year under a new administration. I don't know any of you motherfuckers, and everything I've seen from the outside looking in and from in the league office says this building is a disaster. This building is disastrous from the medical standpoint, from the facilities, from I'm just keeping it real. People I've talked to, from the flight amenities, from like, come on, man, it's certain shit I can't even say, son. Like, it's just a lot of shit that went on. And if you Gail Benson and you like, I'm already notoriously cheap, and you put David Griffin in charge, he like, I'm gonna bring things up to the state of the art organization. I'm gonna get things modern for you, modernized. Then it's like, but wait a minute, that's what's up. I like the weight room, but y'all losing.
Yes.
Like, you said, ain't nobody in the building. Like, you setting my money on fire. The fucking arena looked like Connect 4, all the empty seats in this bitch. Like, so, like, what are we doing here? I think, and again, I'm not saying give the current front office any passes or nothing. I'm just saying you got to wait to evaluate the moves, because technically nothing's happened yet.
I will say this: when David Griffin got to New Orleans, if I am not mistaken, his first year, you know what he did? He kept the motherfucking coach.
Kept the coach, then he fired him. Then he hired another coach, fired him after the first year.
I ain't even going that far yet.
Oh, my bad.
No, you good.
I'm just saying. Thank you, 6 Range. Shout out to 6 Range.
He got there, and shout out to everybody, man. Hit the like button. All I'm saying is, when David Griffin got there, he didn't fire fucking Elvin Gentry right away. He did his assessment just as well, right? Drew Holiday didn't get moved right the fuck away.
It was Drew Holiday team.
He didn't blow. The only player that got moved because they refused to come back, and he had 1 year on the deal, was Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
right?
And he just refused to come back.
He refused to come back. It was like, so you got the jump start, because this would have been as if when Joe got here, Zion would have been like, fuck that, I want out.
This nigga said, shout out to my dog 504 boy, and shout out to Clarence in the building, my dog as well. Make sure y'all hit that like button, fam. Appreciate everybody in the building.
Oh.
This motherfucker said, and he should have been flogged for saying this. And I like Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday, a real dude. He done a lot for the community. Shout out to Drew Holiday, real dude, good brother. This man said Drew Holiday need permission to dominate.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna kick people's asses, and Drew Holiday is gonna be an MVP caliber guy. Willie Hernangomez is an untouchable fucking
Willie
fifth big.
Hernangomez was untouchable,
bro.
That's so much for the locker room.
I don't advocate for violence, but that deserved a leg shot. That like you could at least hit a motherfucker in the leg with one, like a hot one. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, son? Like this man made so many mistakes, and look, the people that he didn't want anything to do with, or as like his good people thing, because now we're talking about Ja Morant, things of that nature, bro. This man didn't want Trae Young. He didn't want to trade for Jaden Ivey before Jaden Ivey, whatever the fuck happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
The list goes on for as people that David Griffin just didn't like, didn't want anything to do with, like just didn't think
Kyrie
they were right.
One of those types too.
Kyrie, you could have got Kyrie.
Could have got
from
Kyrie
the Nets
for nothing.
For nothing from the Nets, right? Karl Anthony Towns.
Yes.
Tried to address the Karl Anthony Towns thing way too late, right? Like this dude was a fucking maniac,
bro.
Dude was a maniac, bro. And like Kevin Durant. Now here's the thing. Here's the truth about the Kevin Durant thing. Tennessee. Kevin Durant said, "I'm going to Phoenix. I don't want to come to New Orleans." Mm-hmm. Right? That's pretty much what he said.
They was kicking the ties on the KD thing.
They was kicking the ties.
Willie Green reached out to him and was like, "You willing to make this move?" And he was basically like, "Fuck no,
bro." These motherfuckers, so many weird things happen, bro. Like that's why when people talk about, and look, again, I wasn't a fan of trading the pick. Wasn't a fan of it. But again, I gotta go through this list, because what the fuck on me, nigga? 5 first-round picks, 6 second-round picks. Derek Favors, Jackson Hayes, Kyra Lewis, Devontae Graham, Jordan Hawkins, Didi Louzada. Didi Louzada was allegedly on steroids. Nickel O'Malley, Daniel Tice. Like, man, we need a big man. Nigga, Joe Dumars ain't signed no motherfucking Daniel Tice.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Man
quit mid-season, dog.
This man was, bro.
Nickel O'Malley.
Shout out to Nickel O'Malley. Shout out to Italy. Daniel Tice was out the country. They're like, hey, you want to come back?
Yeah.
Like fucking Gary Clark Jr. Like, no disrespect. Oh, shout out to Mike. Oh, yeah, I said EJ Liddell, who was traded ultimately. They drafted him. This motherfucker had torn ACL in the preseason, if I'm not mistaken. Played a few minutes. Frank Jackson. Shout out to Frank Jackson, man. Duke's finest. Homie Frank Jackson. Antonio Reeves couldn't get no run. Like, come on, bro.
It's just I'm not sitting here saying that Joe Nim are inflammable or Joe Nim can't do no wrong. I'm not saying that
not at all.
Like that's not even the case. The point that I'm making is again hypothetical. Remember this. Coming into most of the seasons, people were thinking that if you were healthy, you had a chance. Had a chance.
Right.
You had again, DeJounte was coming off the Achilles and whatnot, right? But I'm talking about the season before that. The season before that, you knew you had to move Brandon or whatever. Yeah. But if DeJounte was healthy and everybody, Zion and Trae and Mert and all of them dudes was healthy, this season, you came into this season, most of these dudes was gonna be was supposed to be healthy. Boy. Minus DeJounte. You knew you get DeJounte back, late in the year, right? Mm-hmm. It's not my motherfucking fault that the coach went rogue and threw the rotation into chaos 3 weeks, 3 days into the season. That's not I can't account for that. This guy was terrible, right? James Borrego was absolutely fucking dog. We don't even know. Like we and this is another thing too. Like I hate that we say this team only won 26 games, right? They only won 26 games because if they would have went from a 21 win team and if used decently a 36 win team, you would be looking at it like, oh, they jumped 15 fucking wins.
Like also, bro, when you take into account all the motherfucking leads that were blown in the fourth quarter last season. And look, man, I don't know what the lights is like. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Speaking of David Griffin, I'm gonna play this video from David Griffin. And shout out to Louisiana Gal for reminding me of this. He said David Griffin quit after he heard about an alleged meeting between Gail and Joe at the Christmas party. I heard about an alleged meeting between motherfucking David Griffin and Puff Daddy at another Christmas party. Look at this shit.
Santa baby, the slip was stable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby, just hurry down the chimney tonight.
But I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. Bro, you know what? I see why Tupac was just wilding out on niggas and started spitting in people's faces and shooting motherfuckers. Because ain't no way in the world you giving that dude a pass and you complaining about shit that ain't even happened yet with this new front office.
No, listen, I don't know shit. Like I'm just a dude that watch the games. I go to the games and I might know a little bit about a little bit. I wasn't even doing shit last year before Joe. Like my first time getting into the podcast space at all was at the draft, right? So last season, when all of this shit was going on with David Griffin, bro, I'm sitting there looking, just observing. And I'm like, to Louisiana Gal's point, David Griffin legit stopped working.
Bro, when you watch that,
he quit on the season, bro.
When you watch that interview, the one time we seen the brother Bryson sitting next to David Griffin, David was he was just dejected. He was dejected. He was like, he knew it was over for him. And I had heard prior to that Lauscher and people had been threatening him. People were saying that they saw, not threatening him like to hurt him. Maybe they should have threatened him, like break your leg or something, bitch. But they was threatening them like, yo, dog, this is it. And I heard he was moving and all these things. Like, this was all like stuff that was circulating. He
was operating like, in my opinion, I said, no, I thought I'm being dead ass serious about this. When I don't give these motherfuckers no professional integrity. I'm sorry. When he was on his way out the door, he was leaving them with a big fuck you.
Thank you, Clarence Lives. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate for the sawbuck, homie.
Same thing with Willie. When Willie was on his way out the door, fuck that. I'm leaving.
I heard the same thing with Borrego too.
Borrego, dog, listen, bro. People don't understand. Like you be just thinking about this shit like everybody trying to do the best they can. Nah, fuck that, dog. You got to look at the personal element of what's happening to these people, right? James Borrego was doing a terrible job. Like he would not have hired him. Listen what I said. He would not have hired him. Towards the end of that season, though, you saw between rotations, fucking subs, game, minutes, like absolutely tanked this shit towards the end of the season. When he did not get the job during the season and they started going on their streaks or whatever, that motherfucker knew, dog. And you saw he said, I don't care what nobody said, you cannot make me believe he did not just like throw in the towel and sabotage the team.
I was told that, about, people cool with Poole, that it had got to a point where it's like, bro, you can't treat a player like this. Like how you treating this guy, you can't handle a professional player like this, especially a person that's not like causing an outward disruption.
Yeah,
because it had came out, people was like, yo, man, Poole supposed to be this locker room cancer or something like that. Now, let me ask you this. And shout out to the homie Mike. He said, bro, David Griffin didn't even do a post-trade presser after trading BI. We legit never saw him again. Right. And here's the thing too, bro. Man. If Poole was really this locker room cancer or what have you, like I'm talking about outwardly. Now, I don't know exactly. He could have been like not great to be around, how people say Cam Thomas is. But if he was that, you would have seen it. Like
Yeah.
it would have, as much shit that leaks out at that time with the old regime, like it would have been, you would have seen it. Like you would have heard about it. It was a clear bias that was happening behind the scenes, clear sabotage, like you were saying.
Zion came off the bench for 7 games, dog, and Herb started every motherfucking game. Zion got benched for a 4th quarter, bro. I understand it.
Versus the Rockets.
I don't even care that they won the game. I don't care that they won the game. Dog.
My dog just said that too.
The whole 4th quarter.
Bro, bro, I'm telling you, it was a lot of politics. Look, like one thing I learned, bro, and that's why a lot of times you just got to do your own thing in life, because it's like there's politics everywhere, son. And it gets to the point to me, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I just want to win. If you win, I'm going to sing your praises. If you're doing bad, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Because it's all about facts over feelings, no hand holding, facts, not emotion around this bitch. So, like, we just keeping it a cool dialogue because these are tangible things that happen. For example, when Brandon was on the trade block, and shout out, we got 100 people in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. When Brandon was on the trade block to Charlotte, nobody knew this, but I was doing Bleacher Report at the time. They brought Scoot Henderson to work out, right? If Scoot Henderson wanted to be in New Orleans, right? You want to be. Let's say you don't like Scoot Henderson, right? Fuck it, whatever. Let's say you wanted Brandon Miller or whoever you like, right? So the Charlotte Hornets, like, we want Brandon Ingram at the time. I don't know if they still do this.
Charlotte was number 2 in that draft, by the way.
Charlotte was number 2. Portland was number 3. So you could have gotten Gordon Hayward's expiring. You could have gotten Scoot Henderson and maybe Mark Williams, maybe. Gordon Hayward at that time was like a $30 million expiring. You couldn't move that for seconds. Or even, look, OKC ended up getting Gordon Hayward later. Yes. And they ultimately didn't do anything with it. He didn't play well. And I don't even think they were able to move that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you could have just let him expire. But the same people will tell you, well, that was your pathway to seconds. You could have traded him for seconds. Pathway. I'm like, motherfucker, you don't think they explored that opportunity? Sam Presti did his due diligence bro. Like that. Like, I'm not even sure ultimately if he just retired after that or what ultimately happened. But why bring him into your organization at all for $30 million? Why not just move him immediately? Why let him suit up whatsoever? Like, why did Boston trade Anthony Simons, who was playing well, for fucking Vucevic, who played terrible?
Yes.
Like, why are the Warriors bringing back old ass Al Horford?
Yes. Like,
there's so many examples and things you can point to where other organizations make asset mistakes.
Mistakes.
They make mistakes, right? My thing is, with this organization, there aren't, until this point, especially if you're a person who liked Derrick Queen, there aren't any flagrant mistakes you can point to just yet, right? Yes. Now, some people don't like Mosley. It's like, whatever. I
even if you're going to say the Jordan Poole CJ situation is a mistake, again, you like going into the season with CJ's expiring, everybody's sitting there like, what the fuck you going to do with CJ? Because either you got to give him the extension or you going to lose him.
Yeah, or you got to move him.
Or you know how it is when you go into like certain scenarios with most teams, especially with the Pelicans, you either gotta pay to get off them, right? Mm-hmm. Or you find yourself in a situation where, fuck, I'm like stuck with this person, and we cannot recoup the $30 million of CJ McCollum's salary.
And thank you, Wealthy Few. Thank you, bro. Yeah, like to that point as well. And it's like you just said, the Pelicans 30. Look, bro, people, like, come on. $30 million, right, for the Pelicans. Let's just say you had $30 million in cap space in this market, right? The Pelicans have to overpay to get Kevon Looney, and historically have to overpay other guys to get them into the building. Historically, people have turned down more money from the Pelicans to go play other places historically, right? Take that into account, firstly. Secondly, you had a team like Detroit at one time, right? Their plan was to use Tobias Harris's salary to trade, because it was like a team option virtually expiring, to trade and bring back better players, or use their salary to take back better players and bad contracts, quote unquote, and receive picks. At best, at fucking best, if the Pelicans let CJ walk, then maybe you could use that space to take back a bad contract and get some picks, maybe. But you essentially did that with Jordan Poole, because you took back Jordan Poole's contract and you essentially got Saddiq Bey, who's on a $6 million deal, and a second, which turned out to be Micah Peavy. So basically, you got 2 second-round picks for taking on Jordan Poole's contract. Jordan Poole, who also was coming off a productive year in Washington, who also is now on and expiring. And you can just essentially let him expire or trade him and take back a worse contract for an asset. Like nothing, like I think how people are framing it is totally disingenuous. I don't like no phony shit. I ain't on nobody motherfucking side. I just don't like no fake shit.
While people talking about how bad of an asset Jordan Poole is, Jordan Poole's $34 million expiring. If you attach that shit to trade, you can get damn near any player in the league you want.
Bro, would you rather have Jordan Poole's expiring at 34 or Zach LaVine's expiring at 48?
Give me the 34.
Or Miles Turner's contract, which is has a trade
at 20, almost 30 million.
Yeah, because he has a trade kicker. So it's like, come on, like, and shout out to the sports and shout out to Mason. Mason said, "Ain't we stuck with Murray and Herb without giving away assets and taking back bad contracts?" I don't think you stuck with Herb. I think the price point may be too high for Herb. As far as Murray, the only reason you're in a bad situation with Murray is because he hasn't played for 2 years and he has an additional year on his deal. Once he has 1 year on his deal, you can pretty much do what they did with CJ or with Poole or what have you, because a 1 year expiring is a lot easier to move than a motherfucker with multiple years. That's why they couldn't move CJ when he had 2 years.
Also, with DeJounte, I know you're not a fan of DeJounte necessarily.
No, you know what? I think DeJounte is a very solid, quality, starting caliber guard. I just don't think he moves the needle for you.
And that's exactly what I'm about to say. If you go in, like, if you can't just find a deal for DeJounte that's a straight up upgrade, you can go into the season finally, right? And this is assuming that DeJounte stays healthy, because the year you got him, he broke his fucking hand game 1 and then was stressed out. Last year, you missed all of last year because of the Achilles. You know what I mean? He only played 14 games. Moving forward this year, if you do not move him, you'll finally have healthy-ish DeJounte for hopefully most of the season or starting the season. This will be one of the first times you've actually had the roster semi-together just to start the season. Bro. So just from a health standpoint and a coaching standpoint, you're in a far better position right now than you've been in the last 2 years.
Bro, shout out to H. Bizzle. Like, bro, aside, like, if you got to take Saddiq Bey's extension, if he gets one, into account. You take Herb's pay jump into account, right? We don't know what Saddiq Bey's extension is going to be. But I will say this. Well, shout out Joe. Now, I totally disagree. He said, I feel like DeJounte is the only guy who can go bucket for bucket when it's needed. If the goal is to win, I don't see how you move him. Well, if the goal is to win, I don't see why anyone would have moved him. Honestly, I think he just don't help contribute to winning in no situation he's been in. But I did think his last year in Atlanta, he was pretty good, truthfully. I just think 2 injuries. But I wanted to say this. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say this point real quick. As it pertains to the salary cap situation. We don't know what the Saddiq Bey number going to be. But the following year, 27-28, you got Jordan Poole falling off. You got Carlo falling off. You got Jordan Hawkins falling off. That's $44 million, if I'm not mistaken. That's about $44 million. Then if I throw in Bryce McGowan, that's like $46 million that's falling off the books and potential. Right? It's a lot of fucking money. And
not to mention that off season and free agency class is significantly
way fucking better, bro,
class than the free agency classes of this season.
And I think people kind of I don't like using this word, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just say disingenuous because I don't want to say the other word. So people are a little disingenuous because, for example, right? Let's say, right now the Pelicans can get to roughly $12 million in free agent space, right?
Mm-hmm.
There ain't a ton of people that I would give the full $12 million to. Most of the people that I wanted that I would have given $12 million to are gone. Like one being Colin Gillespie.
Yeah.
Everyone else, and I'm not a fan of Mitchell Robinson. So everyone else to me is kind of like in the $6 million market. You wait to the second, third wave of free agency. Maybe you go with like a couple vet men guys like Gary Trent Jr. only gonna get like maybe $4 million. You got Fontecchio, you got Quentin Grimes, a couple other guys, right? Also take into account like Quentin Grimes couldn't get big money coming off his best year.
Yes,
Kelly Oubre never got big money. Then the Pelicans can still have people trade into their MLE. Like there's other mechanisms that the Pelicans can do. The Pelicans just didn't do any of those moves yet because you still got Looney under contract and you're going to wait and see what you're going to do with that option, like if you're able to trade it. So I think that's another thing. And shout out to Louisiana Gal for this. Williamson Sadiq allegedly asked for $20 million a year. I think for his production last year, that's something. I think he should ask for it. Yeah. I think I wouldn't go above
15 to 20 number.
Yeah, I think I would be comfortable with 16 to 18.
Yeah. I can see something like that. Like,
but you also got to have mid-level salary and trade
numbers, quality reserve, spot starter kind of number.
You also got to have that mid-level salary to trade. Like, and that's the thing. And shout out to Louisiana Gal. Say also, if DeJounte has a good year, he'll opt out. So that's another $30 million. Potentially, he opts out, looks for a longer extension elsewhere. That's another thing.
There is listen, bro. DeJounte and shout out to Rich Paul for this. Rich Paul is the fucking man of his players betting on themselves.
Yeah.
Them dudes
you're a wild dude.
Them dudes gonna bet on themselves and they gonna get to the bag, bro. Like they so I can guarantee you DeJounte, then it's not to say that he not gonna, they not gonna put, because this is another thing too. If Fierce looks good and DeJounte looks good, DeJounte raises his value. You move him to a contender. You let Fierce finish off the season, and you do asset management. You send DeJounte somewhere that's gonna value him, maybe re-sign him and stuff like that. So all of that is still on the table for you. Like, you really not in those situations where people just get impatient, and then like it's that social media shit where like you just watching other people do shit, so you be like, oh man, why that can't be me?
Look, bro, like, if you're watching everybody else while you're racing, you're gonna fall behind. Like, ultimately, the teams that were already good, and shout out to Paul, we're gonna start that question because that's something Elvin presented the other day as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, nobody that was quote unquote worse than the Pelicans got better yet. Yes. Right? Like, you don't know what's, and I like LaMelo, but you don't know how that's gonna work out. Yeah. Like in Minnesota, I think like Utah was always better than the Pelicans, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Butler still hurt, like the Draymond shit, and you don't know just yet.
Yeah.
So the Warriors are kind of the Warriors. You don't know what's going to happen with Dallas just yet. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Squallow. He said Derek Lively still in the boot. Like, so you don't know what's going to happen there. Like, and they're still trying to move off of Gafford, PJ. You don't know what's going to happen with Kyrie. Like, you just talk about
over there, Max Christie.
And let me say this too. And shout out, we got 125 people in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let me say this as well, because people talk about windows and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
All of that shit is impossible to predict.
Yes.
Memphis at one point had a major window. That shit lasted like 2 years.
Yep.
Desmond Bane's gone. Taylor Jenkins is gone. They trying to get Ja out of there. This was a team that was reportedly light years ahead of the Pelicans at one time due to Zion's injury issues. Now it's kind of like, you traded Bane at the perfect time. You got a very decent return for Jaren Jackson Jr., even though the league rules kind of fucked what you could do, because now even if Utah pick jumps, they can't pick twice in the top 5, so the pick would have to go to 6. And even if Memphis is bad, your pick probably goes to 6 or 7 if you're Memphis. Like, so a lot of things is fucked up. Dallas don't have any future picks at this juncture. Like, there's a lot of the teams that will be in the Pelicans group Again, Portland hasn't done anything just yet.
Man.
The Pelicans don't fuck off half of those games that they lost in the fourth quarter last season. You're easily a play-in team. Like you could just name off the top of your head some games that they got walked down on. And I'm not saying the Pelicans will be good. I'm just saying some of the issues and how they're categorized are disingenuous. And I think a part of that is because the relationship with the front office versus the relationship with the prior regime.
And it's not this, again, to your point, it's not to say that the Pelicans are going to be good. It's not, none of that. People just like to fucking bitch and complain about everything. Like, people just bitching about everything. If you trade, bro, we could fucking trade Trey Murphy. We could trade Trey and Z for fucking Anthony Edwards, and they'll be like, why'd you give up the first for Ant? You ain't got nothing around him. What's the point of doing that?
I don't like that guy's attitude.
Bro, like, it's just...
say something crazy.
People gonna complain about everything. It's just kind of like, well, you want to be in asset management, but they were in the playoff push. Well, it's just dog.
That don't make no sense, bro. That don't make no sense. Like when Memphis traded Bane, they was in the playoff push.
They literally just came from a playoff. They just They had just made the playoffs.
I'm sorry for coughing, y'all, but yeah, it's like some of the logic doesn't make any fucking sense. Like some of it's just painfully ridiculous. Like, again, Julius Randle had a terrible postseason, but you just came from beating Denver in the series, right?
Who's to say Denver gonna fucking get back? Denver has a great player. Denver has a great player. So more than likely,
phenomenal.
You're gonna be contending in the regular season, right?
Yes,
because
absolutely.
Just great players in regular season, that's just what happens.
Absolutely.
But that don't, bro. Count Gordon a year older. Jamal Murray less and less healthy.
Bro, like Aaron Gordon hasn't played in the postseason really in a couple of years now, and that's fresh off them winning the title.
And he over 30 something too. He not getting you know what I'm saying? He not getting no motherfucking younger.
Bro,
who's to say Denver's window could be very much so close? I think David Allen is trash,
bro. 8 years in, I think he looked like the guy from the Mad TV magazine. 8 years in a row. 8 different finals winners. Like, what are we talking about here?
Not just that. Every fucking season, I don't know how far we could go back. Every season, there's new teams in the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
There's new teams in the playoffs every year.
I think some of the talking points are just so stale at this point. Like, I mean, look, everybody got a right to their opinion. Nobody trying to tell you how to feel. My thing is, like, and our thing is just to add objectivity, provide the facts, and add like just a little bit of clarity to the conversation. Because at this point, if you can't see that there's a heavy-handed agenda against the current front office, and you're talking to a person who was like, I don't like the idea of trading that Indiana pick. I didn't like the idea of trading for the Dairy Queen thing. But I can be honest and objective enough to say, all right, fuck it. Like, let's move on. That's not even close to the mistakes that David Griffin made. Not nearly close to the mistakes that David Griffin made.
You ain't even got the time to make the mistakes yet that David Griffin made. You ain't been on the job long enough.
That shit take like years.
Bro.
That nigga he set the team back like 10 years.
Secondly, while other people present their facts, right? Like, it's like, oh, well, if you look at the numbers, if you look at this, and then it's like, wait a minute, because I could see a motherfucker plus minus, but I also watch the game.
Watch the games, yeah.
Right? There's context around everything that goes along with what people be talking about. So when you're just when people are just like, okay, if you look at
the guys off and on numbers.
Yeah, look at the off and on numbers. Or if you look at, what was going on with look at JV and this, and it's like, dog, put the motherfucking context around what's going on when a lot of these decisions are being made. Like, come on,
bro.
Dog.
You mean to tell me you couldn't trade Jonas and they were starting Larry Nance in the second half of games?
Larry Nance, dog, Jonas wasn't playing at all. He wasn't playing at all.
Like,
so if you gonna talk about, so again, Herb, Dyson, Najee all did the same thing. Right? You telling me that you couldn't. So you let Najee walk for nothing. You traded Dyson. I get okay. You traded Dyson, and then you fucking kept Herb, who ended up being the worst of the three, in my opinion, the worst of the three. But you drafted Dyson number 8 to fucking be Herb, to be the better version of Herb. Like
you could have got J-Dub. Could have got a number of guys.
No, I don't even want to talk about the who you could have got.
Then it get like, cause you talk about Kyra Maxey and Kyra Lewis, when you could have got Maxey, then it just get like, it just get ignorant around this.
But
bitch.
when as we watching some of the games and shit, having like, I'm actively watching Herb Jones fucking be terrible and refuse to go to the bench. Don't nobody criticize him, and they just singing his motherfucking praises. First off, you losing anyway, but hey, that guy wins his minutes. He's a winning player. Meanwhile, in the playoffs, every fucking player built like Herb Jones not seeing the floor. Winning player in what organization? Come on, man.
Shout out to B Thomas. I don't like Mike. I don't like people that shoot dice. That's what he said. That's what he would say. He's like, nah, Michael Jordan, that nigga be playing pity pat. We don't need that guy. Let's get Sam Bowie. We need Sam Bowie. Man, shout out to my thing. He said the only gripe was keeping Willie Green. He had to add talent with all those other decisions, but also take into account most people, like front office executives, they're kind of let go like mid-season, and new people are brought in. David Griffin made it to like very end of the season. Even with Bryson Graham, you look at how long it took. They went up into like the day before the fucking draft to bring in their coach and Tiago Splitter. Even what's his name, Masai. They just hired the guy from Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what the fuck going on. Portland got Nori on some kind of weird ass pyramid scheme.
1+2.
What kind of weird ass timeshare they got Michael Nori on?
Got this man on a team option.
Yeah, what kind of weird shit is that? But hey, see a fool, play a fool. But I just feel like, bro, ultimately, and I said this before, this front office were in a position that no matter what they did, it was going to be met with major scrutiny. And you can go one or two ways when that happens. You can go fuck the world, right? It just like do all kind of wild shit, and it could go in any direction, or you could go with, I'm gonna show these motherfuckers what time it is, and then you just start hitting singles and doubles, right? It took, to your point, you made an excellent point. It took so many years to do what David Griffin did. I think people don't appreciate that this may be a multi-year process to undo some of those things. And this is the first official year of that multi-year process. I think people have to really come to an acceptance with that. And shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to get to maybe one of Elvin's points or closing points. And then we're going to get to some start questions as well, and we're gonna go from there, man. I'm trying to think where's one I want to go with, son. I'll just go with this one off GP. Yeah, Portland hiring niggas through a temp service.
Son, all I'm gonna say is my only more important thing is this. I'm not saying that we're gonna be great, but for all those motherfuckers that's out there crying for a rebuild, you cry for the rebuild because, in my opinion, you don't want to see them win. I'm not saying that again.
Who is them? When you say them,
you don't want to see the team win.
The team or the front office? You think?
In like if the team wins, then the front office wins. Right. Like if the team wins, then the front office wins. I think people care more so about being right than
the team actually winning,
than being the team winning. Because in this situation, regardless if they say, "Hey, we gonna go for it," like we not gonna blow it up. There's avenues you could go to not blow it up and still contend. Right? Nobody talks about those avenues that you can go to contend, or the things you might have to do to contend in that way. It's just you got to blow it up. You got to blow it up. You got to blow it up. But again, typically when you fucking blow it up, you're bad. for 5 to 6 to 7 plus fucking years.
And don't fuck around and blow it up and you never get lottery luck. Look at the Wizards.
Listen, dog. And then again,
Look at Utah.
A lot of people saying, I don't look, bro. Shout out to y'all who saying that you welcome a rebuild. Hear me and hear me now. Y'all ain't going to no motherfucking games in no rebuild. You're not going. You're not going to the games in a rebuild. And then another thing, like with the team you have now, people be thinking they gonna lose, right? You like, because you just got the feeling of like, hey, we haven't won, so why would we win, right?
Moron Mountain, here we come.
But but again, realistically, Trey is a good player. Zion's a good player. If these dudes come along, like you still have quality players, so it's not that you can't compete. If you motherfuckers go through a rebuild, y'all talking that shit now, but you know what's miserable? 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. See all of those back to back years of losing 25 games, 21 games, 22 games.
Yo, hold up. Let me say this.
Let me get it. 40-point loss. Well, at least we're gonna get the number 1 pick. Nope, 5. You know what I'm saying?
Son, they just went through 2 seasons back to back of 2 losing 20-game seasons back to back, and motherfuckers already don't care. If they go through 2 more seasons like that in this rebuild or 3 more, this team will leave the state at some point. I think people are being foolish thinking that, oh yeah, you know, they won't leave. It's like, bro, when they good, motherfuckers don't be in the building, like talking about it, like just keeping it a cool fucking dollar bill. Niggas don't be in that building like that. Come on, man, I've been in the building. Niggas don't be in that building like that when they winning, when they good. So you think when a bunch of motherfucking nobodies out there on that court that you're like, oh, this nigga picked 13, we'll see. Right. Like, you know, man, come on. Like, like that's like nigga telling me right now they going to summer league. It's like, you don't want to go see summer league? Young guys, they trying to build something. You're not going. Cut it the fuck out. Let's get man. Shout out to Louisiana girl.
Fucking Tyler Gillespie be your number 1 option. You gonna be fucking
Dan Dick out. Like nobody come on, man. Shout out to Louisiana girl. She said, I don't understand the blow it up route. The regime literally only has a 2-year window before people start getting fired. They were informed of that before they took the jobs. Not only that, I like shout out to her. Not only that, like these are it's an older front office. It's an older front office. Gail is an older woman. They want to win now. Like this is not some robust casual fan base. Like this is, if you play 2K, there's points where they still call the Pelicans the Hornets. Like this team is searching for legitimacy.
This shit line. I said this again. I said this when Jordan came in. Everybody was like, why not just like, why would he finally say he believes in Zion? Dog, Z got 2 years left, bro. Like, I'm not giving the best asset to fucking reset or whatever. And Z got dog. If they don't do right this year, like they ain't. I personally believe they not gonna blow it up, but I believe this year they gonna fucking
they'll like retool,
like super retool. You know what I mean?
It'll never be a situation, in my opinion. With the shout out to Ruthless Pragmatic, appreciate you, bro. And shout out to everybody else in the building. Make sure I hit that like button. We about to get to the star questions. It said a rebuild with this new lottery is crazy. You could be the worst team in the league and get the 12th pick, and you could get penalized. What? Be tanking. So
yes, that's no. You imagine if fucking Adam Silver was like, bitch, I saw what y'all was doing sitting Jeremiah Fizz at the end of that game. Draft position. You can't get the number 1 pick. Fuck?
Shout out to the homie Jess, man. Jess always showing love. She said, man, fans ain't gonna stick around for a rebuild. They say they would, but they not. I know I'm not. Like, okay, people not. Come on, bro. Like, let's be fucking for real here. Like,
it's already hard to watch their games on TV. Like, if you don't have the Pelicans Plus, you can't even watch most of the motherfucking games.
You talking about a team that don't
TV games.
Talking about a team that barely has media coverage, barely has national media games. Like, let's not fucking joke around here. That's the thing.
let Zion walk, fucking Trey Murphy walk, and you sit with fucking Herb Jones and Jeremiah Kidd.
And I even think even like with I just think people underestimate how these rebuilds go and how long they can realistically take. That's why, like, how would you even realistically, how would you rebuild? Like, it's not even like there's not even a real rebuilding path necessarily in the new market because you wouldn't get a maximum return on the players that are the most valuable to rebuild. You would just be a bad team with a bunch of cap space and rookies. Like you wouldn't really have shit. But before we move on to the star questions, I just want to point out this. These are the assets that the Pelicans do have before we move on to the star questions and move on to the following years, the upcoming years rather. In 2027, of course, you got the Milwaukee Bucks swap. That means you have your own pick and the capability to swap with it would be with the Atlanta Hawks. So the Hawks would get the worst of that pick. The Pelicans would get the best of that pick. And if both picks land in the top 4, the Pelicans get both picks. After that, you have your
if neither team makes the playoffs but aren't terrible, is a higher possibility today than that being in previous times where you've had to be terrible to have the higher odds. Now, if you're in position, let's say
outskirts of the play-in,
out like 10,
you get eliminated in the play-in,
like 10 to 12 ish, something like that. Like not make the play-in, but right outside of missing the play-in is prime position to fucking be in.
Yeah, but and here's the thing, man, niggas just make me sick. I ain't gonna lie, because again, if rookies don't help you win games, why the fuck you wanted to pick so bad? Like for us, the people who's like, man, we don't have a pick, we don't have a pick, we don't have a pick. If rookies don't help you win games, then how in the fuck is this year's rookie gonna help you win games?
If you had a pick, the only thing you really do, I'm not saying you don't have somebody you could take. Yeah, the best thing is trading that motherfucking pick.
Yeah, especially depending on where it's at. Like I would have liked the Demara, but if you didn't have a pick, what the fuck, right? And Herb Jones was a rookie that helped you win games. I mean, people forget that. Jose Alvarado was a rookie. Najee
undrafted.
Yeah, undrafted rookie. So again, these narratives fall apart when you start like tugging at the strings. That's why, you know, I'm liable to say the wrong thing with motherfuckers. Me, that's why I don't say nothing. But all right, so you got the swap rights. You have your own 28, your own 29, your own 30, your own second round pick in 30. You have your own 31. Now, your second round pick in 31, Orlando will receive the most favorable. Now, with your outgoing draft picks, these are your outgoing draft picks. This is David Griffin's work for the most part, right? 2026, 27, 28, 29, 31. Like, excuse me, this is most of your outgoing stuff that David Griffin was able to do. LA Sports said these same media members that bashed Joe Daly was softball and Griff didn't even ask him his team expectations at media day a couple years ago. I mean, bro, Griffin was a master puppeteer with a lot of these.
So also, you know what I don't ever recall to that point's question. What was Griff's plan?
Yeah, I never knew Griff's plan.
What was Griff's plan?
Like, because you brought in 3 rookies in the same year, but you weren't rebuilding.
You said you was trying to compete.
You said you was trying to beat people's asses. You brought in 3 rookies in this. You drafted a rookie every fucking year, but kept all the veterans every year too. So you wasn't rebuilding, but you wasn't really going for big fish neither.
And even when you was on your cusp of your best season, you never made no move to really go all in.
Yeah, you never even really dropped your nuts. Like, I'm going to get Laurie. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. Like, Griff was a buster.
Every season, there's players available that can help you do something. Mm-hmm. At no point, the only time they went got CJ, right? They went got CJ the first year. Yeah. And that turned out really well.
And at that point, CJ was a distressed asset.
He was, because Portland was like, fuck it, he got to go.
This nigga traded Lonzo Ball. Look, they could have gotten Lauri Markkanen. This nigga traded Lonzo Ball for Garrett Temple and Tomas Satoransky and was starting Tomas Satoransky. I don't know why Stan Van Gundy didn't pistol whip this nigga Willie Green didn't pistol whip David Griffin.
I fucking knew Lonzo wasn't coming back.
Yeah, Lonzo
Like,
definitely wasn't
you
coming back.
knew Lonzo wasn't coming back. So why would you even put yourself in a position and not trade him at the deadline? You knew he wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
What are we talking about, bro?
Though David Griffin was awful, though. Like, and that's, to me, to sum it up, I'll just say David Griffin was awful. The jury is out on the current front office, but David Griffin got away with bloody murder. And if you want to keep it real, if you're being honest, you're being objective, David Griffin is the reason why this team is in a position that is in right now. They aren't in necessarily a bad position, but they aren't in a favorable position. I'll say that. So let's get to the star questions, man. Make sure y'all hit that motherfucking like button, hit that bell notification. Yes, indeed. JKL was happening, homie. He said, realistically speaking, what you think we need? And realistically, do you think JP going to be a good fit for us or just G League? L, what do you think?
As far as JP, I think he's gonna start off in the G League, to be honest. I think if he have a good summer league, a good preseason, I think it's very possible to make this fucking roster though. I know that. Like it's a real world where opening day you could see him on the roster. I'm not saying
he'll be on the two-way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he plays right away, but you could see him, you know what I mean? Opening day on the roster in some capacity, trying to fight himself for minutes.
I think he goes to Bryce McGowan's route.
Yeah, and it took Bryce some time to get opportunity, but I think with thankfully comparable and better coaching, I think a path will be set for him on what he needs to do to get on the floor, and I think it'll be very clear. And I think him being hopefully one of the more versatile players will have a little opportunity for him if his skill set holds up in the NBA. I don't have no reason to think that it won't. But again, man, he was pick 58. You got to go out there and show and prove it.
Hell of an athlete.
We need the same shit. We need a center. We need shooting. Like,
you
need center and shooting. You need to get better.
You need defensive rebounding and 3-point shooting, bro. I think if you address those two things, you find yourself in a significantly better position. Even though, again, I'm not the biggest fan of DeJounte. I would rather have John, who was an upgrade. I will say that DeJounte didn't play most of the last season. Fears, of course, was a rookie. Derek was a rookie. Jordan Poole was getting DNPs. I think if everyone just plays it would be nearly impossible for guys to play worse than they played last year. And this is just in the event that they run it back, which I don't think they'll do. But in that event, it would be nearly impossible for Herb to play any worse. It would be nearly impossible for DeJounte to miss any more games. It would be nearly impossible for Jordan Poole to have a worse year. It would be nearly impossible for Zion to have lower usage. Like,
so as also saying that Trey Murphy don't take another step. Trey Murphy, I think he had a good season. Little bit better. A little bit better. He averaging like 24, 25.
Yeah, and that's on this. I think people kind of losing the plot here a little bit. Like, to me, even if he's the same and everything else is good, then not even good. If everyone's decent, because that's how bad they were.
If Eve just plays.
Yeah, if Eve just getting minutes. If Eve just getting minutes. Like, come on, son. Like, if Eve just getting fucking minutes. JP is what, like 6'5"?
Yeah, he's like
not mistaken. Yeah, he more of an offensive guy, but that's why you got Jamal Mosley to help bring these guys along. Shout out to the homie Tennessee Multisanti. He say, do y'all believe the Pels want to keep DeJounte as Jake Fisher reported, or is it just a goodwill move to DeJounte in his camp? I'll say I think they like DeJounte like as a personality, but I think if there was an avenue to do a massive upgrade, or even like a solid upgrade, I think they take that avenue. I also think, like, what else they supposed to say? Like, nah, we're trying to get rid of this motherfucker. Yeah, you can only say that when a person got some value. Yeah, like this nigga got
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, like no, and even them, they like, well, we'll see what happens. Like they not like you got. Oh, like with Ja Morant, they like you got to go. We need you out of here. Like with DeJounte, it's like, well,
it's whatever.
Yeah, it's like hopefully
if we got a plan, we ain't tripping.
Yeah, then it's like I can't imagine he got no value right now, unless the team is incredibly desperate. And the same thing I spoke about with Dotson. There's only so many teams that need point guards.
Yes,
like one of the teams fixed their situation already. That was the Timberwolves.
Yes.
The Hornets got Kobe White. Not all you really got left is the Suns and the Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on what the offer looking like for a guy that hasn't played in 2 years. And when he has played like recently, he wasn't incredible because he's always coming back from injury. Shout out to the homie 6 Rings. He said Miami will win another one, top 2 team in the East. Okay, we're gonna see.
I believe that some. Listen, man. I think Giannis is great, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think Giannis is great. If you give him some time, maybe they'll put something back together. So I don't know. We'll see.
To me, I feel less that way about Giannis than about Bam. Like okay. I feel like Giannis is dope. Yes. I think they need an intermediate player between Giannis and Bam. Like you need a clear number 2.
Somebody better than Bam, but clearly you're not gonna be as good as Giannis.
You're not gonna be good as Giannis. Yeah. Shout out to Shot Chamberlain. He said if y'all got Tyron Stokes and Bruce Branch, how would that help the current roster? I'm not familiar with those guys. You know,
those are dudes that's supposed to come out. I think they're supposed to come out in next year's draft, but they haven't quite hit college yet. But you don't know. We don't. Everything I'm told is this next year's draft supposed to be bad. So that means Stokes ain't even supposed to be good. I don't want to say he's not supposed to be good, but people are talking about next year's draft like ain't shit in it. So according to what everybody that you supposed to believe say, that none of them dudes, you know what I'm saying? None of them dudes gonna make a difference.
Son, shout out to B Times Nola. Bro, that nigga said that shit at like 8 years old. This nigga is lying. Yeah, this nigga was clearly lying. Like it just I don't even want to go down that road because I don't even want to go down that road. That nigga was clearly lying. And homie should have checked him on that. Ryan Clark should have been like, whoa, but whatever, man. Whatever. So Tennessee again, he said, what song did he play for Zion on the piano? I think he played Careless Whisper. Clarence say preach. Thanks for the show. Appreciate you, God. Appreciate you, brother. Basketball say Chaz, you need to talk to Canada. Ask why they turned on Ingram. I don't think they turned on BI. I don't think they turned on BI, man. I think a lot of people in Brandon Corner, I think that's like much like with Zion and some other players, LaMelo. He's just a frustrating player.
Yes, yes. And ask BI why he turned on them. BI was the one who went to the playoffs and couldn't fucking score over Dean Wade.
Well, I think they want to keep Dean Wade, but I'd like to get Dean Wade in the building. I ain't gonna lie. Dean Wade, if he could shoot like 36% from behind the arc next year, I would really like to get Dean Wade.
I mentioned Dean Wade to somebody, dog, and they was like, "What the fuck we gonna do with Dean Wade?" I'm just like, bro, he just helped. Like he just a solid, like he just a decent player to have. Like he's not great, he's just a decent player to have.
Bro, you need niggas go out there and give you about 5-8 minutes, like because everybody not gonna play. Everybody not gonna play every night, and you need people that can do that. Like them players that should only be getting 5 to 8 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and not be making $20 million. You need a nigga that make about. I know where you going with it. I don't even want because
No, you good.
Good. But shout out to people getting their money though. The wealthy few appreciate you, homie. Paul Mansa, he said, what if we trade the Bucks their pick back and Jordan Poole and Jordan Hawkins for Ware and Hero? What do you think?
I'm not doing that. One, because Hero needed an extension, and
you could have let him walk.
Yeah, letting him walk would be ideal. I would consider almost anything for Ware. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm not giving them their pick back. Like at this point, I'm kind of sold on fuck them and keeping their pick. In order to get their pick, I need Rollins and Ware.
I would need.
I need Rollins and Ware in whatever salary I'm trying, and like you gotta take her.
Yeah, because to me it's better than a lateral move. I do think it's an inclined move, but I don't know. I might do that. I might because I go back and forth.
What you talking about, or what I just said?
If I can give him a future first instead of that pick, I would definitely do it.
Well, I'd rather do that too because I just don't like the immediacy of not having.
Yeah, because
be able to deal
my
with.
roster has to get cheaper, like
Yes.
moving forward. Like I gotta, yeah,
Yeah, but that's why I'm like, okay, you got it. Like, I need Rollins and Ware.
yeah,
Like, you gotta take
yeah,
Herb. Like, if it was
right.
Herb in the pick for Rollins and Ware, and
What I would
if
do,
I had to throw in Eves, like, okay,
this is what I would do. This is what I would do. I'll be like, I give you the pick back, but know how it's top 4 protected?
mhm.
I'm gonna make it top 2 protected, right? So if the pick land between 3 and whatever, you get the best pick, and Atlanta get the worst pick.
Oh, but if that bitch
But
one
if
or
it
two,
land in the top 2,
I gotta
that's
have.
me.
Yeah,
Like, respect my
gotta
gangster,
have.
bitch. Take it or leave it. But I would think about it. And we're gonna end with this one. Shout out to Kennedy Paul. Appreciate you, Kennedy Paul. Say, yo, Chaz, if you're the GM, what are you doing with that Bucks pick? It's super valuable. Ah, man, it's a good question, bro. I think if I could use that pick to get Jaylen Brown in some capacity, I would do it. If I could move that pick for future first, if I could turn that one first into several future firsts, I probably would do that as well. But as it currently stands, the only way I would move it is if I could like change the protection to at least top 2. Because like you just said, I don't want to be in a situation where in my immediate future I don't have another young talent I can bring in. And you know, you're gonna have to replace some of these guys on the roster. Like if you release a few people's cap holes, let's say you keep the roster as is and you start releasing people's cap holes and things like that. I think the maximum salary you could probably get to is like $20 million in like cap, like usable cap space for MLE. You might have some of your biannual exceptions and things like that available potentially. But at the same time, when you look at the market, like free agent market and things of that nature, I don't know how much flexibility that will really give you. That's why I think, to your point, you hoping DeJounte opts out, or you hoping you can like turn Herb into an expiring, like just different things that would put your like you're not in a bad situation going into 27, but you could be in a great situation if a couple of those things happen, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. What's up, Drew? What's happening with your homie? Cliss 5131 say just trade him, but I'm not sure any team in the NBA want him. I'm not sure who you're talking about right now.
I think they're talking about Poole.
JP?
Yeah.
I think JP gonna bounce back, son.
B
Time to say how we not being on
being unplayable. I just don't.
Yeah, I think last year was a total fucking anomaly when it comes to how like he was leading the team. Well, he was the third leading scorer on the team going into like the final stretch of the year, and he was getting DNPs. Bro, that means nobody was really stepping up to the plate. What up with you, Drew?
Ridiculous, dog.
Yeah, bro, but they gonna bounce back. They gonna figure it out, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button, tap in, share this live, and when a video uploads, be sure to hype up the video, man. Much love and respect to all y'all. Have a good weekend. Have a safe weekend. We out. Peace.